The movie commences in October 1988 in a town named Derry. Bill Denbrough assists his younger sibling, Georgie, in crafting a paper boat named the SS Georgie. Although Georgie wishes to sail the boat in the rain, Bill is unwell and unable to join him. The brothers share a hug, and Georgie ventures outside to play. While sailing his boat, it accidentally reaches a roadblock and falls into a sewer at the end of the street. Concerned about Bill's reaction, Georgie peers into the sewer, where a pair of yellow eyes belonging to an entity named Pennywise, the dancing clown, emerge. Pennywise engages in playful conversation with Georgie, offering to return his boat. As Georgie reaches for it, Pennywise seizes his arm, sinking massive teeth into it and tearing it off. The creature drags Georgie into the sewers, leaving him crying for Bill. Fast forward to June 1989, almost a year later, where we meet Mike Hanlon. His grandfather, Leroy, urges him to kill a sheep with a nail gun, a task Mike struggles to complete. Leroy provides a lecture before carrying out the act himself. On the last day of school, Bill, along with his friends Richie Tozier, Eddie Kasparak, and Stanley Uris, collectively known as the Losers Club, embarks on the start of their summer. Unfortunately, they encounter the school's menacing bully, Henry Bowers, and his accomplices. Bill confronts Henry when the latter mocks his friends, leading to a threatening confrontation. However, Henry retreats upon seeing his father, Officer Bowers, behind Bill. Before leaving, he licks his palm and smears it on Bill's face. Meanwhile, Beverly Marsh is in the bathroom smoking when a group of mean girls, led by Greta, taunt her, accusing her of promiscuity. Despite their attempt to drench her with a water-filled trash bag, Beverly shields herself with a book. Outside the building, Beverly encounters the new student, Ben Hanscom, who is often bullied for his weight and lack of friends. Beverly signs Ben's yearbook, and he seems to develop a crush on her. Returning home, Bill faces criticism from his father, Zach, for creating a model of the sewer system in Derry. Zach insists that Bill accept Georgie's death, but Bill remains hopeful that his brother is only missing. Mike goes to the butcher shop for a delivery and hears unsettling sounds behind the alley door, witnessing burnt hands reaching out when it opens. Spotting Pennywise, Mike narrowly escapes being run over by the Bowers gang in a car. Meanwhile, Stanley is at the synagogue preparing for his bar mitzvah. A disturbing painting in the rabbi's office unsettles him, depicting a woman with a distorted face. When the painting falls, the woman is gone, only to reappear with a fang smile when Stan picks it up. Disturbed, Stan flees the scene. Ben is at the library researching Derry's history. From a series of articles, Ben discovers a history of mysterious disappearances of children in Derry spanning centuries. The book features a depiction of Pennywise and a missing boy's head in a tree. Intrigued, Ben is lured into the basement, where he encounters the headless boy and is chased out by Pennywise. On his way home, Ben is attacked by the Bowers gang, held against a bridge railing by Henry's goons. Patrick threatens to burn Ben with a lighter and bug spray, while Henry plans to carve his name into Ben's stomach. An elderly couple witnesses the scene but takes no action. Ben manages to kick Henry, roll over the bridge, and escape into the woods. Meanwhile, the Losers Club is near the sewers, convinced by Bill to help him search for Georgie. Ben falls into the water, and the boys rescue him. Patrick enters the sewers to pursue Ben, encountering demonic-looking children that make him run until he reaches a dead end. Red balloons appear, popping to reveal Pennywise, who devours Patrick. The boys head to the pharmacy for supplies but lack money. Beverly, at the pharmacy buying tampons, overhears their dilemma. Pretending to flirt with Mr. Keene, the pharmacist, she distracts him, allowing the boys to steal supplies and her to sneak away some cigarettes. Beverly joins the boys outside, where they tend to Ben's injuries. Returning home to her creepy father, Beverly encounters inappropriate advances, leading her to cry in the bathroom. In response, she cuts her hair to a shorter length. The boys gather at the quarry, contemplating jumping into the lake. Beverly arrives, taking the lead and jumping in, encouraging the others to follow suit. The group enjoys a day of swimming and hanging out at the quarry. Later, Ben shares the unsettling facts about Derry's history that he discovered. Meanwhile, Eddie, walking home, encounters a leper near the abandoned house on Neibolt Street. Panicking, he runs through the yard, where Pennywise tries to lure him. Eddie escapes under the fence, avoiding the threat. In her room, Beverly receives a postcard with a poem from a secret admirer. Initially thinking it's from Bill, but later discovering it was Ben. From her bathroom, she hears children's voices, and when she looks into the sink, clumps of hair reach out, followed by a gush of blood. Mr. Marsh, seemingly oblivious to the blood, comments on Beverly's appearance. Bill, walking around his house, sees an apparition of Georgie running and follows him to a flooding basement. Georgie invites Bill to join him, repeating, until he decomposes and Pennywise emerges from the water. Bill escapes the basement in horror. The next day, the group encounters Mike Spike and the Bowers gang harassing him by the creek. Beverly intervenes, initiating a rock-throwing war that ends with Henry knocked unconscious. As they walk away with Mike, Bill and Eddie share their experiences with Pennywise, confirming their unsettling encounters. Mike shares a traumatic experience, revealing that his old house was burned down by racist individuals. His parents died attempting to break down the door to his room, their skin melting to the bones. Richie admits to being terrified of clowns, the only one in the group not haunted by personal experiences. The losers gather in Bill's garage, examining a map of Derry. Using a projector, they discover the sewers are connected to the Neibolt house where Pennywise resides. The projector unexpectedly shows disturbing images. The group narrowly escapes harm. Determined to confront Pennywise, the losers head to the Neibolt house. Bill, Richie, and Eddie enter, while the others act as lookouts. Inside, Richie panics when he sees a missing poster of himself, but Bill reassures him it's not real. Eddie gets separated, and when confronted by Pennywise, falls through the floor, breaking his arm. Bill and Richie attempt to reach him through eerie doors, revealing unsettling sights like a headless girl and a room full of clown dolls with a dummy of Richie. They rescue Eddie just in time, and Beverly drives his through Pennywise's retreat. The group escapes, but Eddie's broken arm leads to his mother forbidding the losers from hanging out with him. As tensions rise among the losers, Bill and Richie get into a heated argument. Richie expresses concern that their pursuit of Georgie has put their lives in danger, leading to a division within the group. The passage of time brings August, and the kids continue with their lives. Eddie discovers that his asthma medication from the pharmacy is a placebo, and Greta, the pharmacy worker, mocks him by writing "loser" on his arm. Meanwhile, Henry, Victor, and Belch engage in reckless behavior with Henry's father's gun. Officer Bowers intervenes, humiliating Henry by shooting the ground around his feet. Later, Henry receives a red balloon on his mailbox, containing a knife from Pennywise. Influenced by the creature, he kills his father, spurred on by disturbing chants on the TV. At the Marsh house, Beverly's father attempts to act on his inappropriate desires, but she fights him off and accidentally kills him with a toilet lid. As she tries to leave, Pennywise appears and takes her. Bill discovers Beverly's father dead, and a message written in blood on the wall. Realizing she's been taken by Pennywise, Bill resolves to make amends with his friends to rescue her. Eddie defies his mother's objections and joins the group, while they head to the Neibolt house and find the well where Pennywise dwells. As they descend the rope, Henry appears and attacks Mike, pulling up the rope to trap the others. In a desperate struggle, Mike fends off Henry, ultimately pushing him down the well, seemingly to his demise. As they venture further into the well, Stanley is attacked by Pennywise, represented as the woman from the painting. The boys scare it away and comfort Stanley. In the depths of the well, they discover Pennywise's lair, where children he had taken are floating in a trance-like state. Among them is Beverly, and the boys manage to break her out of the trance, with Ben kissing her. Amidst the eerie surroundings, Bill sees an apparition of his brother Georgie. Despite an emotional reunion, Bill recognizes it as an illusion and shoots Georgie, who transforms into Pennywise. The kids battle Pennywise, with Richie bravely leading the fight. They overpower Pennywise, realizing that their lack of fear renders him powerless. However, just as Bill is about to deliver a final blow, Pennywise retreats into the darkness, leaving the kidnapped children to float downward. Bill finds Georgie's raincoat, acknowledging his brother's true absence, and breaks down in tears. It is now September, and the losers make a blood oath to return to Derry in 27 years, the cycle of Pennywise's return. The group hangs out for a while, until each gradually departs, leaving only Bill and Beverly. Beverly, now moving to Portland, receives a surprise kiss from Bill as they part ways, marking the end of Chapter 1 of It. If you enjoyed this video, check out another video popping up on your screen now.